I mean, from the party that lied to this nation for 4 years. Let's just take a look at some of the things that our colleagues said on the Democrat side when their own Justice Department was concluding that Joe Biden, who, let's not forget, illegally took classified documents.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. You just saw that clip of Senator Josh Hawley, and let me tell you, this is exactly why we need guys like him in D.C. He is absolutely laying into the Democrats here, and honestly, it's about time someone did. Think about what he's actually saying. For years, we were told by the mainstream media and everyone in the D.C. bubble that Joe Biden was sharp, focused, and forceful. But Hawley is bringing the receipts today. He's pointing out that while they were praising his mental state to the public, their own Justice Department was basically saying he wasn't even fit to stand trial. It's a massive double standard, and what Hawley is doing here is exposing the gaslighting we've all been living through. He's not just talking about politics, he's talking about the truth and the constitutional crisis that happens when the people running the country aren't actually the ones in charge. Before we watch the rest of this, I want to hear from you. Do you think the Democrats were intentionally hiding the truth about Biden's condition, or were they just in denial? Drop a comment below, hit that like button if you're glad Hawley is fighting back, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of these updates. Let's get into the main footage.
Thanks to all the witnesses for being here. You know, the visuals, sometimes it really is true. A picture speaks louder than words. It's worth 1,000 words. And here, all you have to do is look over at this side of the dais to see that the stone wall continues. I mean, from the party that lied to this nation for 4 years. Let's just take a look at some of the things that our colleagues said on the Democrat side when their own Justice Department was concluding that Joe Biden, who, let's not forget, illegally took classified documents and kept them in his garage, in his freezer. I mean, Lord knows where. He just certainly didn't know. Their own Justice Department interviewed the guy and concluded he could not form the requisite mental state to stand trial. He did not have the mental ability to stand trial. And what did our Democrat colleagues say? Vice President Harris says, oh, no, the way that the Hur report characterized the president is so wrong. The president's demeanor is totally fine. Senator Smith, what the Hur said about the president not remembering his son's death, so unfair. Senator Kaine said this is grandstanding. Senator Fetterman said it's just cheap shots. You had other senators saying, Senator Ossoff in February of 2024, saying, and I quote, I found the president to be sharp, focused, impressive, formidable, and effective. In June 2024, Congressman Jeffries insists Biden was, and I'm quoting again, incredibly strong, forceful, and decisive. Where are they now? They don't want to answer for any of those quotes now. They lied to us for 4 years, and we know they lied. They know they lied. It's why they're not here. They don't want to answer a single question. They can't bear to show their faces in public. And you know what? It's right that they can't do that because the bill of goods they sold this country, they walked this country right into one of the greatest constitutional crises of our history. And now they are afraid to even show up to admit it. These are people, and this is a party that cannot be trusted with power. That cannot be trusted to tell the truth, the most basic truth. They all changed their tunes after Joe Biden debated President Trump and the whole world could see he couldn't even form a sentence. That running this guy for president again is a form of elder abuse. My, how they changed their tunes after that. Now they can't even show up in public to talk about it. This is embarrassing. But worse than that, it's dangerous. It is dangerous for this country. Mr. Wold, I want to pick up on something you just said a second ago about the OLC and their opinion as to when an Autopen can be used. Just be clear about this. Autopen means not signed by the person. Autopen is basically push of a button and it gets signed. OLC says only when the president specifically directs it and it is under his direct authority. Do I basically have that right?
That's correct, Senator.
So, based on the facts we know, did that happen in this case with all of the pardons and clemencies and other giveaways that Joe Biden signed?
Assuming that the Biden White House complied with sort of traditional practice of presidential administrations and that there was record keeping either from the staff secretary or others, there should be records to indicate either through covering memorandum or briefing books where the president would have signed his signature authorizing this decision. None of that has come forward. That would be very easy to dispel some of these concerns. And I think what we're seeing here is really the Autopen is best understood as sort of a tool of executive convenience.
Hold on a second. You just said something very important. I want to emphasize that. So what you're saying is that there should be, for every time that Biden authorized the Autopen, there should be a record of that. And he should have had to have registered his personal consent to using the Autopen. Is that basically correct?
I think to put it another way, I would say in the policy paper flow to the Oval Office, there should be a record of what documents are presented to the president when and when he gave his assent to the actions that are listed in those documents, whether it's a judicial nomination or it's a statutory response to Congress.
Well, I think the answer is we need to get those documents. And I just say to our friends in the media over here, you guys need to be asking for those documents, and we need to be asking for them, Mr. Chairman. We need to see those documents. And the president, the former president now, can certainly choose to release them. I'm sure they're part of his personal papers, right, Mr. Wold?
And that's correct. And the first place to start would be the staff secretary's office under President Biden.
Oh, here's the trail. If you want to know, if you want an answer to the question, did Joe Biden actually assent to the use of the Autopen and you think of all the people he pardoned, he granted clemency to, murderers, drug dealers, child rapists. Let's find out, did he actually authorize it? There should be a record of it, is what we've learned today. Thank you for that testimony, Mr. Wold. There should be a record of it. So this is a binary question. It's not, oh, we don't know, gee, it's hard to say. No, actually, we can find out. So right now, today, I call on President Biden, former President Biden and his staff, release the documents. You have them, you know you have them, release them. If what you did is legal, and if you're really not embarrassed about it, and you think it was totally constitutional, release the paper flow. Show us the documents where the president authorized the use of the pen for every single pardon and clemency and stay application. Let's see it. Let's see all of it. And if you won't do it, we should subpoena those documents, and we should find out the truth of who was really running the White House, because I think we can see it was not Joe Biden. Thank you all for being here today. Mr. Wold, thanks for your testimony.
Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr.
Wow. Hawley didn't just stop at the rhetoric, he went straight for the Autopen. This is where it gets really scary for the country, and Hawley is 100% right to be demanding answers. Look at the logic he laid out. The Autopen isn't just a convenience, it's a tool that requires the president's direct authorization for every single use. We're talking about pardons for some of the worst criminals out there, murderers and drug dealers. If Joe Biden wasn't the one physically or mentally giving the okay to use that pen, then who was? That is a fundamental question of who is actually holding the executive power of the United States. Hawley is calling their bluff here. He's saying, if everything was above board, show us the paper trail. It's a binary question. There's no middle ground or gray area. Either there is a record of Biden authorizing those signatures, or there isn't. And the fact that the Democrats aren't even showing up to answer these questions speaks volumes. Like Hawley said, it's embarrassing, but more than that, it's dangerous. I love how he didn't let the witness off the hook either. He pinned down the fact that there should be a record-keeping system in the staff secretary's office. He's giving us the roadmap for the investigation. This isn't just a grandstanding speech. This is Hawley building a case for a subpoena. He's basically saying what we've all suspected. The White House was being run by a shadow committee while the public was being told everything was fine. Hawley is the only one with the backbone to stand up in that room and demand the documents to prove it. If they won't release them voluntarily, we need to back Hawley's call to subpoena every single one of those records. We deserve to know who was actually running the country. Stay tuned, because if Hawley gets those documents, the fallout is going to be massive.